Hi, I'm Kirsten Lund at collaborationschool.com, and I want to share with you one of the cards from the Collaboration in a Box box. So this is a box of cards, and it's a box of 51 cards, and I'm very excited to have them after a decade of thinking about creating this. I've been managing workplace conflict, supporting people to manage workplace conflict for 25 years as a conflict mediator. And what I've done to create this collaboration in a box is taken all of the needs that I have heard in every single workplace conflict that I have mediated in the last 25 years, and I have boiled them down to 51 needs that I think probably represent about 95% or more of the needs that might come up in a workplace conflict. The reason why that's so exciting, the reason why that's helpful, is the reason that conflict comes up is because when something happens or somebody says or does something, or an environment is such that we are not getting our needs met, or that we worry we won't get our needs met, that's when conflict arises. And so we often, though, don't actually know what those needs are. I think we're maybe aware at a surface level, maybe what's just under the surface, but we often don't really take the time to think about what are the needs that aren't being met here. We just know it doesn't feel good. And like I said, we may know some of the just under the surface needs. So what this card deck does is it helps people to really think about what are the needs that I have that have to be met in order for me to be satisfied with a solution or with a workplace or with a relationship. And so it helps you to articulate to yourself what those needs are. And then also the cards will help you to articulate that to the people that you may be in conflict with, or that you might want to prevent conflict with. So these cards can be used both as a prevention tool and as a resolution tool. So I'm just going to share one of them. Managing differences respectfully. This one comes up a lot, I think, in the workplace mediations that I have mediated. Differences create conflict. Differences could be all sorts of things. It could be personality differences. It could be cultural differences. It could be differences in how we get energy, differences in how we like to communicate, differences in how we problem solve. And when those differences are not managed in a way that is respectful, that can create conflict, of course. And so you'll notice that in addition to the need itself, manage differences respectfully, there's also some bullets there. I'm just going to read those to you. These are different ways that you can articulate that need to others, which is important to do when you're either preventing or resolving conflict. So some of the different ways I have here: I want us to value and respect different perspectives. It's important to me that we take differences in perspective, experience, and needs into consideration. Being able to manage differences in a respectful way is necessary. It's a necessary ingredient of work satisfaction for me. So these are just different ways of articulating that need, and there may be other ways that that you choose to articulate that. But each card has some ideas on it about how you might articulate your need to others. So I'm doing some training around these cards. I'm going to be piloting that coming up soon, and the training will teach you how to use the cards to reflect on conflicts that you might be experiencing so that you can have a really good sense of what's happening for you. They'll help you to prepare for difficult conversations, how to use the card to have the difficult conversation, how to use the cards in a team environment to have discussion and planning around how can you create the kind of work environment that you want to have that helps people bring their best selves to the work. So there's so many different uses for these cards, and I cannot wait to teach you how to use them. I'll be sharing some information soon about the pilot, and you'll be able to find it on collaborationschool.com.